it's like parents, sometimes the children can't get to sleep Christmas Eve, and other times the parents can't hardly get to sleep because we know what they're about to get, and we know how what they're about to get is going to just delight and just fire them up and give them what they need. So our special guest speaker today, Ryan C. Greene, he's got a very special mastermind exchange coming up, and he's going to tell you about. He's a gentleman that he teaches leaders and entrepreneurs how to get paid for what they know by building passion-driven revenue streams. Let me say it again. Because somebody asked me one time, they said, what do you do? I said, well, I live life living, and I empower those who are allowing life to live them to get a breakthrough in the live life living. Well, Mr. Ryan C. Greene, in essence, does that because, again, he's going to teach leaders and entrepreneurs. This is a leadership call, right? And entrepreneurs how to get paid for what they know by building passion-driven revenue streams. And so this gentleman, my friend, just incredible. He's an author. He's a speaker. He's a trainer. I mean, just, when you heard about Dr. Katrina Ferguson and different book projects going to the top, he's always part of that. I mean, this guy is absolutely, he's a talk show host. He's a strategic marketing professional. He's an international leadership trainer. He does so much. 8 times best-selling author. I mean, need I say more? So you're going to hear with great delight what we call the passionpreneur, Mr. Ryan C. Greene, and he's here to empower you, my friend. So, Mr. Greene, take it away.
I am here. Mic check. Can you hear me, Dr. Breakthrough?
Loud and clear, man.
All right, great. I want to thank you for inviting me to this call this morning. I want to thank all who are on the call this morning, and I agree with the sentiment that if you are on this call, you are in the right place at the right time, and hopefully you will receive something that I have for you today. The first part may be for one person, the second part may be for another person, but make sure you listen to the whole thing, because if you don't get it now, you will definitely get it later when the time is right. And again, my name is Ryan C. Greene, the passionpreneur. I won't spend a whole lot of time talking about myself. I think Dr. Breakthrough did such an awesome job. I had to check to make sure he was still talking about me, all those things he was saying. But yeah, that's true. That's me. So thank you again. And what I want to talk to you today about is, you hear all those accolades, you hear where I am and things that I've done, but I want to talk about where I was, and I want to talk about how I got to that point, because it didn't all, those things that those lines that you heard listed, they didn't come without a struggle. They did not come without hard work and without setbacks. And I'm sure that many of you are like me who have experienced setbacks, and you had times where you questioned whether or not you were in the right place, whether you questioned whether or not you were doing the right thing. And that's where I was. I'm going to share some nuggets and some of my story about that part of my journey. It's easy to go and tell everyone the good stuff. I'm going to share some things about, my past and what really got me to this point. I've been in the personal development space as a speaker and an author since 2005. So actually, this January I'll be celebrating 15 years in this space. And 15 years since I started. But the thing about it is that, for a good time in there, I actually quit. I actually stopped. I actually walked away. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about the greatest comeback ever, how you can have your greatest comeback ever. If you've ever quit, that's normal. The people are going to quit. No success was ever achieved without quitting at some point. But the key and the secret is that you kept going to get back, dust yourself off, and how to get back and come back. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Back in 2005, my first book was released, Success is in Your Hand. I talked about 19 keys to really finding the successful person you were designed to be. In 2008, I released my second book, my Little Black Book of Leadership. Things were going well. I was married. I had 2 young children at the time, and things were going well. There was a lot of momentum in my business. I was flowing and operating, and God was opening up many doors for me. But what happened was in 2009, I got dealt a blow. In 2009, the night before I was to host a Dream Day event, a personal development event. I had 100 people registered, and the night before that event, my wife walked out on me. She left me that night. She said she was going to her friend's house. I had no idea she meant she was going forever. So she walked out. Still went and pressed through that next day and did the event because I had other people counting on me to pour into their lives. But what happened was once she left, things fell apart. That was a big part of my why. I never thought I'd be in a situation where I was going through a divorce. In 2009, I lost everything. I ended up moving away, had to go back and find a job in another state. And for 4 years, I quit on my purpose. I quit. I stopped writing books. I stopped trying to help other people because I was hurt. I was broken. But also I felt like I didn't have anything to offer. I was just trying to pick up the pieces. And at that point, I was trying to figure out what I was really supposed to be. I was questioning whether or not I was, had I gotten it all wrong. I was like, why would you, I asked him, God, why would I be in this situation? Why would, things were going so well, find myself here, going through a divorce and losing everything. So for 4 years, I said, you know what, God, if you want me just to be a regular, average 9-to-5 type person, and you didn't really call me to go out there and speak to the masses and help people, then so be it. That's what I'll do. I'll settle in there. But here's the thing about purpose, because even though I had made that, declaration, that's not really what I felt like I was supposed to do and wanted to do. But if nothing, if the doors were closing, then it is what it was. But what I found out about purpose back then, after 4 years of running from purpose, after 4 years of denying what I was supposed to be doing, after 4 years of wallowing in my own sorrow, my own pity, I realized that purpose won't let you run away forever. So if you're taking notes, you want to write that down. Purpose won't let you run away forever. And that's what happened to me. Purpose will chase you down. See, I don't know, if you ever had that crazy ex-boyfriend, that crazy ex-girlfriend who always, you broke up with them, but you turn around, they're always there. Maybe you go to the mall and you're looking at the car like, is that Tyrone's car over there? Or your call come in for unknown number. You wondering if that was Sheila giving you a call. Your purpose is just like that ex-lover. It won't let you run away forever. It's going to come back and find you. And that's what purpose did for me in 2013. Purpose said, Ryan, are you good? Are you done? Are you tired of running? Because here I am. And then purpose stood there and said, it's time for you to come back. It's time for you to walk in alignment with your purpose, with me, and to do what it is that you were called to do. And I sat there and I said, okay, well, that's cool. That's great. That's what I would love to do, but I don't know how. How do I get back what I had? How do I come back from where I am? And that's where my third book came from, Create a Better You, because when I was sitting there and I was praying to God and I was looking for direction, God said, if you want a better life, you must create a better you. I said, wow, okay. He said, if you want a better life, you must create a better you. Because see, and I know I'm not alone in this. For so long in that period, I was blaming everything else. I was blaming my ex-wife at the time. I was blaming circumstances. I was blaming everything else but myself. I wasn't taking accountability for my role in where I was in life. And that's where I really had to take ownership. And that's where I really had to start to put together the pieces and say, okay, you know what? I can't help what someone else does to me. I can't control how other people treat me. I can control how I respond to how they treat me, but I can't internalize and own everyone else's behavior. The only thing I can help, the only thing I can fix is myself. The only thing I can change is me. So it was that time that I said, if I'm going to create a better life, I have to create a better me. So there were some things that as I was talking to the Lord, I was asking for direction, and he gave me 12 things. He gave me 12 areas in my life where he said, you work on these, create better these, and you will have a better life. So I started on that journey of doing that, put it together in a book. Today I'm just going to share a couple of those things with you, and then also share with an opportunity before we're done on how you all can join the big project that we are working on to help you all in your journey as well to create a better you. So the first thing when you're talking about your comeback, when you're talking about creating a better you, the first thing I was told I had to create a better connection. And again, hopefully you're taking notes. If you're taking notes, you can write that down. Number one is create a better connection. So there's three different connections that I had to create and improve upon. And that first connection was my spiritual connection. See, for so long, I thought that God had forsaken me. I thought that God had left me. And what I had to finally be honest about was that God hadn't left me. God hadn't forsaken me. I strayed away from him. I walked away. I was the one who felt sad, took my ball and was leaving, and I was the one who said, okay, fine, I'm going to sit here and just do nothing. Well, anyone knows God didn't call us to do nothing. He called us to do something. He called us to go through so that we can grow through and help someone else. So I had to create a spiritual connection. Okay, I had to stop blaming him and stop, looking at him as the problem when I was the problem. So how do we create a better spiritual connection? First thing you have to do is pray. So I had to improve my prayer life. I had to talk to God. But the second thing was even most important was I had to listen. See, so many times, a lot of especially Christians, we got the prayer thing down. We can go up there and we can pray, and we can pray pray the walls down, pray the walls down, and we can, turn the church out with a prayer. But how often do we sit there and actually listen for God's answer to the prayer? And that was the thing. Sometimes you have to just say, be still, and know that He's going to answer those prayers. But you have to know His voice. You have to listen to what He has to say. Sometimes people always say, I prayed, but God didn't answer my prayer. Well, the question probably is, did you stick around long enough to listen for the answer? All right? God has given us the Bible to read. He's given us a relationship to have with Him. So I had to build that better connection. That was first and foremost. Before anything else, I had to make sure that I built a better connection with Him. The second thing that I had to build a better connection was with my purpose, because I had neglected my purpose. I had walked away with my purpose. Some of you right now might be thinking, you're confused on what your purpose is. Maybe I was at a conference this weekend and we're talking about, are you chasing purpose or are you chasing popularity? Are you really focused on doing something that because your purpose to do it, or are you trying to chase something because it's the popular thing to do? And you've got to really be clear on that. You got to know that what you reconnect with, you're doing your purpose. Now, the purpose, I describe your purpose as kind of like your highway. Your purpose is the road you're going to take, but your vehicle may be different. Your vehicle on that purpose will be your dreams and your passions. Those may be different. So don't confuse your dreams and your passions with your purpose. Your dreams and your passions have to align with that purpose, but you have to make sure that you are still fulfilling that purpose. So how did I do that? How can you reconnect with your purpose? First thing I did was I wrote out my purpose. I wrote out my purpose of my life, and I looked at it every single day. Some of us, we look at purpose, and purpose has been so cliche over the last 10 or 15 years, but, the fact of the matter is it's real. All right, so, but it's because it's cliche, it's easy just to say it, think you got it, think you're clear on it, and just go without realizing that maybe you walked away from it. Maybe you strayed away from your purpose. Maybe you've lost focus on what that purpose is. So I encourage you all and challenge you all today to write out that purpose. Write out what your purpose is and make sure that you look at it every single day, because that'll keep you clear on what it is that you're focused on. And that'll direct every action that you take. If it doesn't line up with your purpose, don't do it. And then the second thing is to develop an overall plan to fulfill that purpose. You have to make sure that you have a plan. Once you know that purpose, how do you plan on fulfilling it? How do you plan on going forward? Again, we're talking about those dreams and that path of what are you going to do to fulfill that purpose? And then finally, you want to have a strength. I had a better strength in my people connection. I had to build a better people connection, because what happens is when you're going through something, when you're feeling down and out, we tend to go into our own bubble. We tend to go into a shell. We tend to walk away from everyone else. But when you want to have that comeback, you can't come back by yourself. You got to start to reconnect with people. You got to start to get around the right people. You got to start to get around people who can encourage you. You got to start to get around people who've been there, who can tell you it's okay, and who can tell you that there is a brighter tomorrow. And at that point, and what we're doing, actually, this kind of segues perfectly. I'll talk about it now. Is that Dr. Stan bringing me on here is us working with better people. He and I are partnering with some other leaders, and we're putting together a mastermind exchange virtual summit. It's going to be January 17th and 18th. This is a totally free virtual summit. It's online. You don't have to travel. You don't have to buy plane tickets. You don't have to get a hotel room. It's 2 days of powerful teaching, and training on how to build better businesses and how to accelerate your success. So these are people who have been there, have done that. Napoleon Hill said the power of the mastermind is when more than two minds come together, they can do more and accomplish more in 1 year than what you could accomplish yourself over your entire lifetime. So the mastermind exchange is for entrepreneurs and business leaders just like you who want to become better, who want to grow better in 2020. So you can register for that free event at mxsummit20.com. That's mxsummit20.com. So that's the power of creating better connections with better people. Second thing I had to do was I had to create a better now. I had to create a better now because where I was that situation, I was like, what do I do now? When you're trying to come back, you got to have small victories. You got to have quick victories. You got to have something that you can do now. There's a saying that says that where we are today is the result of decisions we made 5 years ago. So if I want to be better 5 years from now, I have to start making better decisions today. I can't wait for 5 years. I can't wait for things to get better. I can't wait to get more money. I can't wait for a husband or a wife. I can't wait to get out of jail. I can't wait until 5 years those things happen. I have to do something now so that 5 years later I'm in a better situation. So if you're saying, Ryan, well, what do? I don't have anything. I'm stuck. And that's fine. What you do, how do you create a better now? You simply use what you have. You got to look at what you have right now and use what you have today as your springboard to better. For me, when I was in that situation and I was, broke and I was by myself, I said, what do I have now that can get me back moving towards my purpose? I can't go out today and start, and throw an event and expect 300 people to show up. No one knows me. No one cares. I haven't been doing anything. But what can I do now? For me, my gifting was always my voice. Now, I don't mean my physical voice. I mean my influence and my voice. So what I did, my journey was, I said, what can I do right now? I can start my podcast back up. I can get back on the radio and start just sharing my message through my podcast. It didn't cost me anything. It took, it was one show a week. It didn't take a whole lot of time. But here's the thing. When you start to get active again in that thing, when you're just doing something in that arena, in that space, you'd be surprised at the doors that open for you. When I can start saying, I'll put it this way. How many times have you seen someone who says, they'll use a title and say, well, I'm a this or I'm a that, but they're not actively doing this or that. You can't call yourself a speaker if you haven't been on a stage in 3 years. You can't call yourself, say you're out there doing a leadership training if you haven't put on a training. So for me, it was a matter of just getting in there. I couldn't say I was a radio show host if I wasn't hosting a radio show anymore. All right, so I had to start doing that, and the doors that began to open because now once you start to operate in that space, other people in that space now know you're there. So when someone is looking for a speaker, when someone's looking for a leader, or they've seen you operating in that space, they think to call you. And also it starts to open up more opportunities for you. So you could start a podcast. You could start writing a blog. You could, apologize to your spouse today. You could apply for a new job you've been dreaming of today. You can shoot that video of yourself doing a training today. So those are things you can start today. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. It doesn't take a whole lot of money, but you can start today. So ask yourself, what do I have today that I can start, that I can use, that I can help to springboard me into better? And we got to stop letting our circumstances be our cop-out. We can't keep letting excuses be the reasons why we don't start. All right? Whatever it is that you think is in the way, you just got to look at it and say, so what? So what? It doesn't matter what the situation is. So what? I'm going to do it anyway and go forward and do that. So it's easy to look at our current situation and accept that you can't live any better than that. But you've got, even when the cards are stacked against you, you got to know who the dealer is and know that God won't forsake you again. All right. And then finally, under creating a better now, is that we've got to stop being held hostage by our past. All right. Jim Rohn talks about positive mental attitude. He said one of the biggest factors in determining your positive mental attitude is how you feel about your past. And so many of us have past hurts that we let hinder us. We have past hurts that some of us don't even realize are the obstacles that we can't get over. But how you feel about your past is going to impact you exponentially on how you move forward about your future. So if you don't feel good about your past, if you don't feel good about your present, you don't really have hope in the future. So we got to look at how you feel about your past and stop being held hostage by it. Whatever it is that you've gone through, you went through it and you're still here. That's victory. That's an accomplishment. That is something to celebrate and something to use as your springboard to help other people to grow and to be able to use those things to empower other people. See, when I went through my journey, again, I never wanted to go through a divorce. And that first year, I didn't tell anybody I went through a divorce. People just started seeing pictures come down off of Facebook, if you know what I mean. But eventually I said, listen, this is who I am. I went through this for a reason, and it can help someone else. So, I'm able to go through my journey and able to hopefully help someone else. And the same thing is true for you. And then the last thing I want to share with you today is to create better dreams. All right, we're talking about creating a better you. The last thing you want to do is start creating better dreams. Because here's what happens, right? When you're going through a struggle, when you're feeling like you're quitting, the first thing to go is your dreams. The first thing to go is your dreams. You start this. You change from having dreams of destiny to having dreams of desperation, because see, what happens is you start just wanting to survive, instead of thriving. You go from thriving to surviving, because if you ever say, "I just need this," "I just want to do this," or "I'm just checking in," just is like a 4-letter curse word. Just is the most, it's a word that takes all of your power away. You don't want to just do anything. You want to do it or you don't do it, but you're not just doing anything. I know no one on this line is playing the lottery, but I know you probably know someone who's seen one of those big jackpots and they said, if I could just have a piece of that, I'd be good. No, you can't live life just having a piece. God didn't want to give you just a piece. What he gave you is all for you. Get all of it. So just stop saying you just want a piece. And what happened with me and what happens with others, I'm sure, who are in this situation, is that I went from, and then, again, I told you, I was on my second book. Things were going well, but my dream started to shift. I went from trying to be a best-selling author, trying to, sell hundreds of thousands of copies, trying to be on stages all across the world, to simply just trying to pay my rent for the month. How crazy is that? Because that's where I was mentally, where it was like, look, okay, I just need enough to make sure my car's outside when I get up in the morning, okay? But what happens is this. See, here's the thing. Say you want to write a book. Say you want to do a podcast. Say you want to go out there and do a training, or you want to go out there and sell something. It takes just as much energy to sell 1 million as it does. Let me put it this way. Whether you sell 1 million or whether you sell 2, it takes just as much energy and effort to create the product, to create the service, no matter how many you sell. So if I go out there and I sell 300 books, or I go out there and sell 3,000 books, it still took me the same time, energy to write the book. So if I want to go through all that to put the book together, if I want to go through all that to record the podcast, why wouldn't I still dream that it reaches masses as opposed to just reaching enough? And see, but that's what happens. That's the trick of the enemy when you're feeling down, when you quit on yourself. And you start those dreams start to go away. Here's this is my saying. This is what I believe. I believe dreams are man-made. Purpose is God-made. Destiny is where the two of them meet. I'll say it again. Dreams are man-made. Purpose is God-made. And destiny is where the two of them meet. So your purpose isn't going to change whether you're in the game or out the game. Your purpose is your purpose. God's not going to change that. But your dreams and how you go after your purpose, that's on you. That's going to change, and you can't allow your dreams to falter because you've been dealt a blow. Because God is still saying, listen, here's the finish line. Here's the journey I still have set for you. Now, I've given you these dreams. I've given you these skills and these talents to go out here and achieve this. But it's on you to go out there and do your part. So we can't sit there and have our dreams diminished because of our circumstances. So we got to always, if you've been one of those people who just started saying, I just want this, or if I can just have that, as long as I can just do this, I'm good, then you settle for mediocrity. You settle for just okay. And God didn't call us to be just okay. All right? So we got to make that shift from dreams of desperation to dreams of destiny and get back to that. You got to have that destiny mindset. It allows you to open your mind to dream as if you're already the person you're purposed to be, and you're simply waiting for the manifestation of those dreams. You're simply waiting for and working towards the outward confirmation of the inward declaration. So make sure that as you build those dreams, you don't let those dreams go away. You don't let those dreams get hindered by your own negative thinking, okay? And then finally on this piece is that you don't want to let the belief level of others limit your dream level. Have you ever had a friend who said, listen, I don't mean any harm, but, or they say something like, I'm just trying to help you out. So, and your friends don't mean any harm. But the fact of the matter is they really think that they're helping you by warning you of the dangers of chasing your dreams. But the reality is that they're projecting their fears and their uncertainties onto your ideas. And you've got to be wise enough to recognize when that happens and strong enough to stand up against it when it does. Friends and family, all they want to do is see you be okay. Really. And that's what they want. They want you to be good. They don't want you to be hurting. And that's what they're there for. But the truth is they don't have your dreams. They can't see your dreams. If your dreams aren't big enough to scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. So if they scare you and they're your dreams, then imagine how they look to those around you. So sometimes you can't share with everyone or at every phase of your dream, because if you're not strong enough, you'll let them talk you out of it. You'll let them talk you into being right there next to them, going to work every day, working 9 to 5, and all y'all do is have happy hour drinking and complaining about the job that you were trying to get out of before you listen to them. So you don't let them limit your level of your dreams. All right, it doesn't mean you walk away from wise counsel. It doesn't mean that you don't listen to people, but you got to listen to the right people. You got to listen to those who have been there and done that, and you got to listen to those who are encouraging you, who have the experience and the knowledge to do and help you get to where you're trying to get to. And again, so that is what the mastermind exchange is all about. That's what, that's why we're on this call. That's why you all do this call, because this is an opportunity for you to come together with people who are like-minded, people who have had success, people who know what they're talking about, and get that encouragement. Every day, imagine, what it does to you. And every day you got to go to a job you hate. You got to go around people who always poo-poo on your dreams and tell you you're not good enough, or that's too big. And how does that weigh on your life and weigh on your mentality? So when you have calls like this, when you have outlets like this is so important, because it gives you that recharge, lets you plug back in. Going back to that connection, it lets you plug back into what gets you excited. But make sure that you're not just getting excited. You got to put the work in too. Once you get excited, once you get that recharge, you got to then move from there and put the work in to make sure that you can make those dreams come true. Because the best form of revenge on anyone who doubted you is massive success. The best form of revenge on anyone who's ever doubted you is massive success. I hate the hater culture. I hate people always talking about their haters. I've never called someone a hater. I never go out there celebrating my haters. I never go out there dancing and stepping on my haters. Whatever. I don't do that. I'm not motivated by haters, because if I'm motivated by haters, if my motivation is to make my haters feel bad, then what does that make me? A hater myself. Okay, I don't need to be motivated by them. I'm motivated by my dreams. I'm motivated by where I'm going. I'm motivated by what it is God has called me to do. And for those who may have doubted me along the way, I don't take it personally. I know they're limited in their own thinking. I know the best way to get back at them is not me being petty towards them, but by me having massive success for my dreams, my family, and the people around me. So that is what you want to focus on when you come and building those better dreams. And then finally, I want to remind you again, the Mastermind Exchange is an opportunity for you to share those dreams, an opportunity for you to hear from those who had dreams and have built those dreams, and make sure that you can be, as a guest of Dr. Stan, as a guest of Dr. Breakthrough, you can register at www.mxsummit20.com, and you'll be able to engage in all the workshops. There's 14 speakers. There's 17 workshops lined up over 2 days. It's a virtual summit. You don't have to leave your home to go. Again, it doesn't cost you anything to register. Definitely want to be able to get you all there and get everything that you need for that event. So thank you so much. And I want to turn the call back over and I will make sure that we I will turn it back over to Dr. Stan if he's there, and he's going to be talking that day. One of his talks is actually going to be every master was once a mess, therefore every mess can become a master. You all know how great Dr. Stan is. You all know the power that he brings to the table. He's going to be sharing that message at the Mastermind Exchange as well, so we look forward to having him as well. So, Dr. Stan, I'm going to turn the call back over to you.
Wow, man, powerful, powerful. As a matter of fact, you all check out his website. While he was talking, I sent a text to get my free gift of goals to this number that's listed there. And also, when I talked to Mr. Greene, I said, look, we got a couple of powerful speakers. Is there a possibility one or two of them may be able to edge in and get inside to be part of this mastermind as well? Because Coach 100K obviously definitely got, oh my goodness, and people like Shantae, social networking, anyway, different speakers that we have here, Les Carter and others. Anyway, so Mr. Greene, if we got a couple folks that would love to be part of the mastermind, is there a way you could do a special breakthrough and is there a way they can see if they could possibly be one of the speakers to help also promote the event for you?
You know what, Dr. Stan, I can't talk about getting around better people and connecting with better people and say no to that. I know that you only associate with the best people. And what I will do, I will open up today for 24 hours. So if you're listening, you got 24 hours. I want you to send me an email to ryan@ryancgreene.com. That's ryan@ryancgreene.com. That's Greene with the E. And in the subject matter, I just want you to say Dr. Breakthrough sent me. So in the subject line, all you're going to say is Dr. Breakthrough sent me. And then in the email message, I just want you to tell me your name, your subject title, and I'm going to send you the email for the I'll reply to the email with the form for you to fill out. 24 hours. You got to get in 24 hours. We can let any of Dr. Stan's connections come in, and we'll add a bonus day to get you in there. How's that sound, Dr. Stan?
Wow. Sounds like a breakthrough to me, man. So Ryan is just RYAN at Ryan Greene with the E at the end.com. And you just need
Ryan
to put
C. Greene. Yeah, I put the middle initial in there.
Oh, Ryan C. Greene. Okay.
Yes.
So Ryan at RyanCGreene.com, and just put Dr. Breakthrough sent me, and then you want to put your name, your subject, your title, and so those you out there, this is an opportunity, and you can see, we got a powerful lineup. Dr. Katrina Ferguson and many others are part of this. And why don't you just give a highlight or two, if you don't mind? I thought it was very interesting when you're doing this. I know we're way over time, but just real quick for those who are interested in speaking and being part of this, then I want them to hear a little bit about what you're doing, because this is this is incredible, the event that you're doing, and for them to have an opportunity to sneak in to be part of this as a speaker. Of course, they got very limited time, 24 hours. But just give a word or two about as a speaker.
Absolutely. So for me, this mastermind exchange came about because I know when I was growing my business, there's been times where I felt like I was out there alone. I felt like I just needed some advice from others who could help me. And a lot of times that advice came with a price. But my purpose is to give back. My purpose is to empower other people. I feel like if we can help people build better businesses, then it makes it better for everyone else in the industry. So rather than sitting there watching someone stumble on the stage, rather than sit there watching someone put out a poorly executed book and talking about them, I can actually help them make it better. Because if we're all in the same industry and someone else is doing a poor job, then they make it bad for all of us. Then it takes the value from all of us away. So for the Mastermind Exchange was something where I figured I knew that we had people come together all in one place where you can come and share your expertise for those who are aspiring and those who are already in the place but maybe need to grow better, who can build better businesses and accelerate their success, again, for leaders and entrepreneurs. And that's where this opportunity came from. I wanted to do virtual because I wanted to no obstacles in the way. I didn't want anybody to be able to say, well, I can't get there that weekend. I can't afford a plane ticket. I can't pay for a hotel. There's no excuse at this point why you can't attend a virtual summit. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for breakthroughs for those who are looking to start their new year in a much better position.
Yeah, what's interesting is I'm actually speaking. I'm the keynote speaker at the Reset Conference here in Dallas. And so that first came up, and I was like, man, how would I do that? Because I always want to maximize everything. And so it was like, oh, it's online. And, oh, okay, it's different speakers. And so it worked out where, okay, I can do this online this day and still be at the live event to do. It's like, wow, that worked out perfectly.
Yeah. And that just reminded me, let me just say that, because the way it's set up, you don't have to be there for the virtual event. So, and I'll send that information. Those who email me, I'll send that information to you, but you don't have to even be available that weekend in order to present at the events. I'll share with you how, but again, that's a great point you bring up, Dr. Stan.
All right. See, we remember, y'all, I keep talking about being a CLO, and this guy practices CLO, Chief Leveraging Officer. So email Ryan, R-Y-A-N, at Ryan C. Greene with the E at the end, .com, and just put Dr. Breakthrough and put, again, your name, the subject, the title. Those of you who are speakers and you got a message you want to share, this is your opportunity to share the platform with Dr. Katrina and Dr. Breakthrough and others. So this is that'll give you something you can leverage, because one of my first breakthroughs was, when I was featured in a book with Chuck Norris and Zig Ziglar and Laurel Lagermeyer and T. Harv Eker and Les Brown and John Asheroff, Brian Tracy, Dr. Deepak Chopra, Dan Kennedy, a bunch of others. And all of a sudden, people are like, oh, they looking like I was somebody. I was like, no, that didn't make me nobody. I was already. But hey, if in their eyes, if that's what it takes, that's fine. But it opened up some crazy doors. So I share it all the time. But anyway, so this is your opportunity, by the way, doing that. So make sure you take advantage of that. And then, listen, everybody on the line, just go to RyanCGreene.com, RyanCGreene.com, E at the end, and you can see where it says join the Passionpreneur Network and get a free gift. I don't know about you, free's pretty good. Just text the word that shows you goals to the number 614-333-0338. But just go there and do it. Just follow the instructions. You're going to get a free audio setting stupid, S-T-U-P-I-D, that's an acronym, stupid goals, and learn how to set goals that are impossible to quit. Come on, somebody.
Absolutely.
Come on, somebody.
That's right.
So, man, you've given some great value. And so, Coach, I tell you, Coach 100K, you probably already at the website. You probably already downloaded that, I'm sure. I know Shantae Kelly and others, Apostle Burrell and Les Carter.
You know it, man. I already emailed them, already on the site, looking at everything. So if I was trying to get back to the screen. All right, man, listen, incredible. I mean, hey, the one nugget I got among all the nuggets, but the standout nugget was thriving or surviving. Getting to the point where you just want to survive instead of thrive. That's a tricky spot right there, because you don't know you're surviving. You think you're still thriving, but you're surviving. So I'm excited to hear that, man. That really made a big difference.
Awesome.
Well,
Really
also, that's
enjoyed
real.
it.
But this is powerful, great information for folks. People are texting me now. Text them back. But folks, just go to RyanCGreene.com. They're texting me. What's that number? Just go to RyanCGreene.com and you'll see all the information there.